Arsenal from Venezianico is a very popular watch. And there's one reason for that. It looks so much more expensive than it actually is. There was only one problem with this watch prior to today. It was on the larger side because this was around a 39 or 40 millimeter integrated bracelet watch. It did wear slightly large. I wouldn't say it wore large, but it did wear slightly large for most wrists because of its bracelet, which wears like a cuff. However, they've come out with a smaller version and it has a dial that I haven't seen on any other watch before, a Fume mother of pearl, which looks absolutely gorgeous. I have the purple dial to show you guys, so let's flip the camera and take a look at Venezianico's latest, smaller Arsenal. A purple Fume mother of pearl dial. It's the first time I've seen that. I've never seen a Fume mother of pearl dial. I would imagine the way that they get this is that they are dyeing it purple, so they're using a darker purple or a black towards the edges of the dial, and you get a Fume pattern, a Fume effect. And it looks really good. You're getting applied indices on that dial, and it has their logo right below the 12 o'clock index, and that is it. A very clean look, and I love that. I love that Venezianico make these watches very clean. They don't add anything else on the dial to clutter it up or cheapen it in any way, because these watches look a lot more expensive than they are, and that's because of those details. Another detail that I think makes this watch look a little bit more expensive than it actually is the bezel. You have that coin edge on the bezel. This is a dressy integrated bracelet watch, not like a sporty watch like the PRX or the Christopher Ward 12. There are a lot of integrated bracelet watches out there. This one is meant to be a dress watch. It's the new 37 millimeter version. So they made the 40 millimeter versions for a while. Now they have a 37 millimeter version, and this one wears really well. So there was always one thing about the Venezianico that made it different from all the other integrated bracelet watches. The bracelet wears like a cuff. It really does taper very nicely, but you can see here, it does wear like a cuff. And because of that, technically at the case, you have a 41 millimeter lug to lug, but it does not wear like a 41 millimeter lug to lug. It wears more like a 53 millimeter lug to lug because of the bracelet, because it does not fold down at all. So you have a pretty big lug to lug on this watch, and it's a small watch, and this is 37 millimeters. Imagine the 40 millimeter version, so it probably wears even bigger, definitely wears bigger. That being said, this watch doesn't wear huge. It does wear bigger than its dimensions of 37 millimeters. I measured this at 37 millimeters at the case, and then you have a very thin watch of under 9 millimeters thick. That's including the sapphire crystal that is slightly raised off of that coin edge bezel. You also get a screwed-in case back that is a solid case back, so no, you cannot see the movement. The movement inside this watch is a Miyota series 9000, which is the 9039, so that means it is a dateless version. The 9000 series is a thin movement, so that's why this watch is thin. You do only get 50 meters of water resistance on this watch. You have to screw in the crown for that. So that's how I think they're getting this watch so thin. You don't need to wind this watch, so having a screwed-in crown is not that big of a deal, although you will have to unscrew and screw in the crown every time you need to set the time if you don't wear this watch for a little while. The case and the bracelet integrate into each other perfectly. One of the best integrated bracelet looks. You have a very thick line of polish that goes through the case, through the bracelet, and the taper on the bracelet is excellent. This is their Casanova bracelet, and it looks great. When you hit that double deployant on this butterfly clasp, you have one side that you have to click in before the other because you have a little badge there with their logo on it, and that is it. Really nice bracelet. Everything feels really nice. Obviously, they do a pretty good job with these watches. Overall, I think it's a really nicely finished watch, and like I said, I think it looks a lot more expensive than it actually is. On my wrist today, I have the collaboration watch, the only collaboration watch that I have really done Up until now, this is the Chronofix Gotham Watch Club collaboration. So technically not a collaboration with Watch Chris, really a collaboration with my local, or now international watch club, the Gotham Watch Club. And there is the Venezianico Arsenal 37 millimeter with a purple mother of pearl dial. When you move it around, you could see that dial just come alive. It is beautiful. Really is. It looks like something almost inspired by space. I obviously know it's not. It's mother of pearl, but it looks really good. You have faceted applied indices. There is lume on those indices, and then there is a little bit of lume on those dagger hands, the hour and minutes. No lume on the seconds hand, which is a needle seconds hand. We'll do a lume shot in just a second. I have a 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 37 millimeter watch, spot on. It wears a little bit bigger than its dimensions for two reasons. Number one, you have a very long lug to lug. If you include that bracelet of 53 millimeters, it's 41 millimeters at the case, but on this bracelet, it wears larger. Also, it is on the thin side, under 9 millimeters thick. You do have crown guards. So those crown guards do make it a little bit bigger than 37 millimeters, but if you measure it from here to here, it is 37 millimeters. If you measure it with the crown, obviously, it's bigger than that. It's around 40 millimeters. But I wouldn't say this wears like a 40 millimeter. I would say it wears like maybe a 38 or 39 millimeter, maybe pushing it to 39. But you could see on my wrist, it looks like a 38 or a 39 millimeter watch. Well, there you go. Lume on here is pretty good for a integrated bracelet watch that's technically a dress integrated bracelet watch. So this is technically not a sports watch. I would say this is a dress watch. 50 meters of water resistance, 37 millimeters, thin. You have an integrated bracelet, but it's a very elegant looking watch. It looks like a Parmigiani a little bit. A lot of people say that, and I don't disagree with that. It's a nicely made watch, and you get that Fume mother of pearl dial that's very, very clean. Price on this is $985. You're getting a lot of watch for that money, and it is gorgeous. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I think my only complaint about this watch would be that this has 50 meters of water resistance. If they could do something to get this to 100 meters of water resistance, it would make it a really good all-around watch that you could take on vacation and feel very comfortable going swimming with. But I get what they're trying to do here. It doesn't need the extra water resistance because technically this is a dress watch. They are adding lume though, so you have decent lume. You can see it's not fading very quickly. It's applied to all of the indices, not on that seconds hand, so I guess that would be my second complaint. I like to see lume on a seconds hand. That's really it. Everything else here, I think they're executing really well. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Venezianico? I would really like to see one of their higher end watches here in the channel in the future. They make an El Tillier sort of higher end line of watches with movements that are made in Italy, and those dials, they're made in Italy as well. I believe they are hand guilloche on a Rose engine. I would love to see one of those in person here in my studio. But until then, tell me what you think of this watch down in the comments below. I will add a link to this watch down in the description. Don't forget to check it out, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next